What situation or goal brought you to work with Alba?
I had been asked about 5 years ago to stand up a new department within my company that hadn't existed before. And that was a really intimidating thought for me. There wasn't a history or a line of practice or best practices that I could turn to in thinking through how to do this successfully. And so it occurred to me that it would be really helpful to work with a coach, essentially, to help me think through how I needed to present myself as a leader to my team, to help them understand the imperative to stand up this group and then to build the momentum so that we could really do something amazing with this opportunity. And so as I was thinking through how to do this, it occurred to me that I would benefit from working with a coach to help me think through how I present myself to my leadership team and to my team, how to help motivate my team and get them excited about doing something brand new that we had never done before, and how to interact with my peers on the executive team in a way that helped get them on board also with what we were doing. And so it was my idea to find a coach, and I reached out to my HR business partner, who put me in touch with three candidates. I interviewed all three of these candidates and knew pretty quickly that Alba was the one that I would have the best rapport with. It was pretty clear immediately that she was highly emotionally intelligent. And that was really important to me because an important part of my job and my success in this new role would come down to emotional intelligence on my own part. And so I really was looking for a coach who I thought could kind of break through some of the outer crust and start digging into, the emotions behind this. We make decisions as human beings based on emotion, not reason. And it was important for me for that reason to find someone who I thought really understood people and what motivates people, and what gets them excited. And I also wanted someone who I thought would have the ability to kind of hold a mirror up to myself, and help interpret what I'm seeing. I've got these old ways of doing things and these old ways of thinking about things. And I wanted someone who could hold a mirror up to me and help me interpret what I was seeing. And I knew pretty quickly after talking with Alba that she was the right one to help me do that.
What were the results of your coaching with Alba?
She helped me very quickly home in on a couple of issues that I needed to work on, things that hadn't occurred to me before, things that were a little uncomfortable, quite frankly. But Alba was really good about helping me get comfortable with discomfort. And I really appreciated that about her. One of the things that she pointed out to me very early on in our conversations, and something that hadn't occurred to me before, even though I like to think I'm a self-aware person, is that I struggle with perfectionism. If I can't get something right out of the hatch, I tend to shy away from even trying. And Alba nailed it really quickly. She understood very quickly. And it was based both on our conversations and on feedback she'd gotten from my peers that this was an opportunity for me. She helped me understand that perfectionism can be a good thing in certain circumstances, but very often is more of a trap than an enabler. And she really helped me identify those circumstances where I started feeling like if I can't do this perfectly, I'm not going to try.
How did Alba's support make a difference for you?
Alba's support made a big difference because we were meeting regularly and she was asking me to start flexing these new muscles that I hadn't really flexed before. And because we worked together for a length of time, I was able to go put into action the things that we talked about to start kind of testing out some of these new skill sets and approaches to things, and then come back to her with feedback about how it went. And she would listen, digest, and then start asking questions, and making suggestions to me about how to maybe tweak or adjust the next time. And over the course of these 9 months that we worked together, I felt like I really had the opportunity to build some strong muscles in that space because of the practice, because of the persistence that Alba had around making sure that we continued, not to set aside this issue of perfectionism, but to keep it front and center as we kind of worked through these different opportunities to flex these muscles.
What would you tell someone who is considering working with Alba?
The advice that I would give to folks who are considering working with Alba is to dig deep and be willing to get uncomfortable. Invite discomfort because that's where the growth and the change comes from. And Alba will push you, not in an aggressive or kind of unwelcome way, in a very gentle but persistent way. She pushed me. And she pushed me in ways that really, got me outside of my box. And I would really advise folks to get comfortable with that, to welcome the change, the new ways of thinking about things, and the new approaches to things. And so I guess my advice in a nutshell would be dig deep and let Alba help you get uncomfortable because that is where the exponential change and growth comes from.